Now let's take a wine lover's trip around the world, courtesy of Seagram's Classic Wines. We're here at what is truly going to be an exciting event. We're here with John Laird from Seagram's Chateaus
And Estate Wines Company.
Now tell me about this little soiree you've put together.
Little soiree brings together 30 of the most extraordinary wine producers from around the world, every place from California to France to Portugal to even New Zealand, offering a trade tasting for select customers here in the Chicago area.
So when you say trade tasting, you mean there'll be restaurateurs, hoteliers,
and retailers, right, together with about 150 distinguished distributor participants from around the Midwest.
Give me an example of what we've got here.
Well, some people may say we're starting at the top. This is Comte Alexandre de l'Ursalus, whose family has owned Chateau d'Yquem in the Sauternes region of France for the past 400 years. And Alexandre would love you to taste 1989?
89.
89.
I was actually told this is some of the finest white wine in the world.
Indisputably delicious. It makes you bounce up and down on the balls of your feet. It is such good stuff.
It is truly delicious. It is full of flavor. And we're going to continue on down here. We thank you. Tell me what's next down here. I should have brought my glass with me, shouldn't I? But it's all right. We'll steal one. Tell me what we've got here.
Another great red Bordeaux wine, Chateau Lafite Rothschild, one of the most famous red wines in the world. Our friend from Lafite is Chris Grenai, who's part of our New York office team. And what vintages of Chateau Lafite are we showing today, Chris?
We have a 1989 Lafite, and from the other wines that we have for the property, we have Dior Milon 94, and also the second label of Lafite, which is a 95 vintage, which is Caruade de Lafite.
Now, you've brought out all the highline stuff here.
Well, we tried to bring actually a scope of products, and not only that, but vintages, so people can actually have an idea as where the wines are at this stage on different vintages and different quality levels.
You have to excuse me after work for a moment, okay?
Sure.
Right. Tasting Lafite 89 is not work.
I love my job. Come on. I've got to go work some more. Thank you. Come on, let's go work some more. Come on. So we've arrived in Italy now, and go ahead. Where are we?
We are with Alessandro Angelini from the Castello d'Albolo in Chianti.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us about your product here.
Yeah, now here we have 4 wines. We have a white wine, Pinot Grigio, which obviously doesn't come from Tuscany because Pinot Grigio doesn't grow there, but it comes from an estate in Friuli which is owned by the same family that owns Castello d'Albola. Then we have a Chianti Classico 96, a Chianti Classico Reserva 94, and a so-called Super Tuscan 93.
Let's try your Super Tuscan.
Of course. You have a glass?
Yes, right here, right here.
The blend, 2/3 are Sangiovese, which is the very typical grape in Tuscany, and the remainder, 1/3, is Cabernet Sauvignon. This wine is aged a full year in French oak, in small French oak barrels, and it has been awarded with all kind of awards in Italy.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome.
We're going to continue our trip around the world.
Yes, but you better bring your glass.
Yeah.
Got to bring your glass. Well, my tour guide has taken me over here with Jean Banchet, a notable sort in the culinary world in Chicago, is talking about opening his new restaurant, which we expect to open around September.
September 15, yes.
In Wheeling, Illinois.
And, taking back the old wine, Le Français.
You're going to make it better than ever?
We try to make it better, and we're going to change the whole look inside. We're going to update, we are in 1999, pretty soon 2000, and I will change it. And the food is going to be, we try to make the food the first class, service first class. It's a fine dining. It's not a bistro I'm opening, it's a fine dining.
That's great. We're really excited. We're going to have a little charity event there.
Yes.
For Meals on Wheels.
Mums are the best champagne in the world.
So we're all set. John Banchet is back. The world is bigger and better than ever, and he's a major part of it. Opening in September, just in time for your New Year's plans for next year,
Nice.
I might say.
Yes.
And he's taking reservations now.
Now, yes.
Because it's going to sell out September. Call the Chicago Fund on Aging and Disability if you want to buy tickets to this great charity event. There'll be only one charity event there, and this is it. Jean Banchet, we love you.
Thank you.
Well, where are we on this trip right now?
David, we have arrived in Alsace and have run into Hubert Trimbach.
A pleasure to visit your country, sir.
Well, thank you.
Tell us about your product you've got here.
This is a beautiful Pinot Gris from the 96 vintage, which actually is a reserve level. Means selection of grapes from better pieces of land with a good concentration of fruit, nice flavors of...
The name of this is Trimbach?
Is Trimbach, yes. And we're based in Alsace in the northeastern part of France, which is facing Germany.
Yes,
And,
yes. My friend Joe Ho's favorite.
exactly.
John Joe Ho's favorite.
That's where Jean is coming from.
I guess I don't want to say people to call you folks up if they want this product, but I want to really thank you for this great tour around the world. I want to thank you and Tom Conrad and all the
Quite
guys
welcome.
here.
We've got time for one more stop. A great tour of this quality should end in Porto with George Sandeman, the head of the House of Sandeman.
Let's go. Come on.
He's over here.
Let's go. A little port. Well, we are here, and we actually have somewhat of a celebrity because this...
The man whose name is on his birth certificate is the same one that's on the label of the product.
And if you know great ports, you know Sandeman. How are you? David Lissner here.
Good, George Sandeman. It's a pleasure to meet you, David.
Welcome to Chicago.
Thank you.
What is your favorite of these lovely ports?
Well, as long as it has a Sandeman name on it, it's always a favorite. It depends a little bit on the time of day and the occasion.
I just happen to have my lucky cigar here.
Okay.
So if I were to smoke this lucky cigar here,
if you were to be smoking a cigar, I'd probably recommend the 20-year-old Tawny to you.
all right.
I think that would be a jolly good combination.
Now, where are you from?
Well, I live in Portugal, but I'm originally from England.
Okay, because that would be fine. Listen, I have to thank you, but I've got a time limit. We've been traveling around the world here today, and our last stop would have to be Portugal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
I really want to thank you for this trip, and
You're quite welcome.
I think other than some dessert, I'm done.
We should make it more often.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Hey,